Just stabbed myself in the eye. Great. What's up, everyone? It's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And of course, since this is a Saturday video, I'm of course coming out again with another episode review of The Promised Neverland. And the latest episode, of course, was episode number 11. And just a word beforehand, if you have not watched The Promised Neverland up to episode 11 or haven't even started the show yet, be warned, there are going to be spoilers in this review about episode 11 and the episodes that came before it. So now that you're warned, you can either turn the video off and watch episode 11 so that you're not spoiled, or start watching the series. But if you don't mind being spoiled, then feel free to continue watching this review. But anyway, as I always do with these reviews, I always start off with a recap of the episode, what I liked about it and what I did not like about the episode, as well as any guesses that I may have about what may happen in subsequent episodes, which at this point there's only one more left. But anyway, as far as the recap is concerned, I have my notes here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Anyway, as a recap of the episode, you start back off where episode 10 left off, which was with Ray and Emma talking the night before Ray is to be shipped out. And during this conversation, Ray basically and Emma discussed their plan of basically escaping that night. And it seemed to be a bit of a challenge that Ray presented to Emma regarding them escaping and regarding actually all of the kids escaping. This is when Ray comes upon the plan of actually burning down the house. And in the process, he also talks about how burning down the house is not enough and there has to be another portion to this plan, which involves Ray actually setting himself on fire. This is the reason why he does this, because he knows that he is a high commodity for basically Isabella shipping Ray out, and he knows that if Isabella believes he is in trouble or knows that he is in trouble, she will try all she can to get to him, and it will basically be able to cause a diversion to allow the other kids to escape safely. So, but it turns out Emma actually has a plan of her own, and this plan is actually a plan that was devised by Norman before Norman was actually shipped out. So you see this plan slowly start taking place, as well as like, what is it called? Again, I'm forgetting what it's supposed to be called, but also like backtracking to basically how Emma devised this plan and how she found out about this plan from Norman, which Norman drops a few bombs on us concerning pretty much that this was Ray's plan from the beginning, and that he actually did have their best interest at heart in trying to make sure that they all got away, and he devised this plan so that Emma did not actually have to have Ray die in the process. Also, what comes about is that you find out that actually all of the kids now actually know about the secrets regarding this house, and they all find out due to Sister Corone, because they decide to listen in on Sister Corone actually talking to Norman and Emma, and that was how they got a few of the other kids to find out. And then slowly but surely they helped the other kids basically find out the secret about the house, as well as training them to escape when the time was right. Now, while they start the escaping process, you then actually realize, or at least as the viewer, the one thing that we're all thinking about is the trackers. And it turns out that you see Emma actually cut off her ear to actually get the tracker to be escaped, and she also takes out Ray's, because she actually saves him from not, pretty much being on fire and killing himself in the process. And while they're escaping, you hear Ray at the end of the episode say, "Is this all of us?" Which then shows Isabella standing in front of the house as it is on fire, and she starts like freaking out. That you realize that there is indeed a child missing, and this child goes up to Isabella and says "Mama," and then just stands there next to her as the house burns. And you have Isabella looking down at this child in shock, because she didn't believe this child was actually here. Now that we have a recap of that entire episode, which I will say that this recap of this episode is a lot longer than my other previous recaps, only because this episode had so much information and so much happening in it that it's hard not to have to recap what all happened. But as far as what I like about this episode, one of the many things that I actually enjoyed was I liked seeing how smart Emma is. Not saying Emma is dumb, but I'm saying Emma in the subsequent or before episodes actually came off as like having a soft spot for everybody, which was going to be her downfall. So seeing her be very smart and meticulous with how she was going to get everybody out, and also doing it in a way that Isabella wasn't going to find out, was amazing. And I actually really do like love seeing Emma as a character basically grow, especially going into episode 11. I also liked seeing or realizing how much planning really went into this, because we didn't see all the planning process. As viewers, we did not see that. We just saw what happened, as the plan took place. So seeing how the plan took place and seeing how much planning was involved was great to see. Also, it's also great to see also how much planning Ray put into this, because as we remember, Ray actually knew the secret about the house way before everybody else. So he was already making a plan to escape. And while telling Emma about how they were going to escape, he announced to Emma that there are Molotov bottles in the bushes and to throw them so she can set the property on fire to cause an even bigger diversion. And Emma's quite surprised about this, and that is when Ray says, hey, I've been doing this, thinking about this for the past 12 years, or past 6 years that I've really figured this out, and I've been planning this for a really long time. Along with Ray, I enjoyed seeing Ray lose his cool. When Ray starts talking about setting the house on fire and setting himself on fire to cause the diversion, I saw how crazy in Ray's eyes he got. Like, Ray just snapped and just lost it. Like, you could see that Ray was at his wit's end, and the only thing on his mind was getting everybody out. And along with that, it was refreshing to see Ray have some sort of an emotion, because Ray has been kind of cold and detached most of the season. It wasn't until like later episodes that you saw him show more emotion, and with this episode his emotion went over the edge. You see him basically, really just like screaming and with the crazed look on his eyes, and with that you see just how much he cares about all these people in this house. And even when he sees that he's able and he's gotten away due to Emma's plan, you see that he is very appreciative of Emma, which I definitely enjoyed seeing. That I think honestly about this entire episode, with what I liked, was that this episode was definitely a lot more informative and a lot more exciting, and it also was a lot more shocking. There were several moments during this episode that I was like, oh my god, like when she cut off her ear, I was like, oh, she pulled a Van Gogh on us and she cut off her ear. But I was also like, very smart, Emma, very smart. But also like, how did you do that in like 10 seconds or less? So that was pretty amazing. As far as like what I did not like about this episode, I honestly had to say, because it was too short. This episode seemed a lot shorter than other episodes or before. This episode was like 21 minutes, maybe 22 minutes, while the other episodes were like 24. So I was definitely like, I could have used them extra 3 minutes to see what was gonna happen. But we're gonna have to find out in, of course, next week's episode, which is also the last episode. As far as any guesses that I have about this season, or how I think everything's going to play out with episode number 12, I honestly don't know, because I am that much like, this can go either way at this point, and I have no idea. But one thing I do have is that I do believe that Norman is still alive. I believe that there's more secrets to be held. I also might be wrong about this, because like I said, I haven't read the manga, and those of you who have read the manga know more than I do at this point. One other thing I want to add is that I did feel a little bit of a tear-jerk moment, and that was towards the end of the episode, when you see an image of Norman with Emma as she's looking at the wall when they're about to escape. And the reason why I had a tear-jerk moment for a minute at that particular part in the show was because it reminded me very much of Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. And if you've not seen that show, watch it, and then you will understand why I felt that way, because it was very similar to that show towards the end. But overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm excited for episode number 12. I'm sad that it's already going to be over. I feel like it could have gone with 24, and I really hope this show gets a second season, because I will definitely be watching the second season, and I'm excited to actually start reading the manga because I want to know what happens next. But anyway, that is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, like always, I will leave links down below to all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well. And of course, like I always say, if you have read the manga, do not put spoilers down below, because I will delete your comment, because I do not want to be spoiled about this show, and I'm sure others do not want to be spoiled either. So please don't do that. I'm really asking you guys, like, nicely not to. And of course, I come out with new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Like I said, please subscribe if you haven't, if you're a new subscriber. Hi. But yeah, and click the bell icon so you're notified whenever I come out with a new video. And like I always say to you guys, stay positive and be nerdy. All right, you guys.